So I thought it'd be fun to actually take out the lyrics to Bones and talk about them for a moment. And, what's been kind of on my mind is reading the verses, right? This face is looking pretty tired, too much coffee, I'm so wired. Yesterday is come and gone, another year since I've been born. Another song you gotta know, they're playing on the radio. These lines feel, I think they feel a bit negative and a bit kind of like they're highlighting the stress or the monotony. Yep, the monotony, great word, of day-to-day life. But the irony is, for me at least, I'm curious what you guys think. The actual message of Bones is not really about that. It's not about being stressed or feeling bored or stuck. It's actually meant to be comforting and uplifting, right? Like, almost, in my view at least, what we're kind of saying is, in the verses, is we're kind of pointing to some of that some of that reality of day-to-day existence where there is stress, there is anxiety, there is feeling a little bit stuck or feeling bored or whatever it might be. But when you contextualize your life in the bigger picture, right? Like, the pre-chorus goes into mountains, waterfalls, the paintings on these walls, these much bigger concepts. And then, of course, when we get to the chorus, from dinosaurs, the ancient history, to flying cars, the distant future, and t-shirts we've outgrown, which to me is very much like all the random things that happen in between, like almost these minutia. Like, it seems like, a t-shirt a t-shirt that you outgrew is kind of just like something that happened that is inconsequential, and that's all just part of the in-between. The actual message is, throughout all of that, we're part of something bigger. What we're made of has been here for a long time. It'll continue to be here. So yeah, that's why to me it is actually kind of a comforting message.
Yeah, I think I've seen videos before where the idea is if you zoom out all the way or you zoom in all the way, it all looks the same. And I think it's a concept that I think is relevant for this type of a song, because the the hundreds of millions of years that define things like when the dinosaurs were around versus the few years that it takes to outgrow clothes. Whether you zoom all the way in to the micro or all the way out to the macro, it all looks the same. And so I think generally when I think about the lyrics of the verse versus the chorus, it's I said this a little bit before, but it keeps things into perspective, and again, that's comforting as we sit here in this park, literally right next to a tree that's got to be hundreds of years old. I don't feel negatively about it. I'm in awe of it. I appreciate it that it's here, and I appreciate it that it'll be here before we were here and after we're gone. And again, there's something comforting. So I think it will ultimately hit different people in different ways. I think in a similar way to some people look up at the stars and feel really happy and they feel a sense of adventure and wonder. And some people look at the stars and they say, oh my God, like that's a little scary, a little depressing. And, it depends. And I suppose that's the beauty of art. Different people can interpret it in different ways.
Al, I don't know if you had something you wanted to say, but I wanted to ask you, there's the verse in the song, conflict over conversation, content over real creation. It's all just getting tired, and it goes on and on and on. Talk about that a little bit. What does that mean to you?
It's actually a lot to unpack. I mean, I think it's that in today's society, there is so much minutia. I think just everybody feels that, the minutia of conflict over conversation, like, how just like arguments just go viral and people like don't want to go slow and converse with each other. And then just making content like we're doing right now. Hit that like and subscribe if you haven't yet. It's kind of just like a reminder and both of the verses do this. It's like going really small and talking about just how difficult the minutia is and how zeroed in we can get on the bags under our eyes or a fight online. But it's really just like a reminder to just zoom out and not sweat the small stuff, really. Just like, don't sweat it. You're sitting next to a 300-year-old tree. You're like, just try to remember that and try to let things go. And I think that's sort of what those verses can help us understand.
This is my last thought for the day. I feel like Bones, if you were to kind of pair it with a visual, imagine a camera, right, that zooms all the way out and you can see the entire Earth. It's peaceful, it's quiet, it's in the middle of space, it's millions of miles away from anything. It's just sort of floating there, existing. On that Earth, if you zoom in, all the way in, right? Like there's so much shit going on. There's people fighting. There's people who love each other. There's people who hate each other. There's cars driving around. There's kids playing in the park. There's, there's the minutia of arguments between people who've been in a relationship for 20 years, whatever it is. Like there's just an infinite amount of stuff going on. Not to mention, arguments online and the whole digital world, which is crazy. So to me, Bones is kind of like the verses are zooming in and looking at a lot of that minutia and kind of appreciating, in a sense, how crazy it is and how stressful it can be and how exhausting it can be. And then in the chorus or in the pre-chorus, it starts to zoom out. You see the planet from a further distance. And then in the chorus, you're seeing the whole planet, right? You're realizing that all of that stuff, right? Like it's just part of something a lot bigger. So anyway, thought that was an interesting way to look at it.
Yeah, I agree. And this may not make the final cut, but I think what one thing that I think it was Neil deGrasse Tyson said, he's like, if you were to take the Earth and make it the size of a cue ball and pool, it would be smoother by a large margin than any other constructed ball that was ever made in the world. And that's crazy to think because you think about Mount Everest is like 30,000 feet above sea level. And there's, the Marianas Trench is, maybe like 50,000 feet or 40,000 feet below sea level. And so there's a lot of gradient to the Earth. But if you zoom out far enough, and you put it in context of things we're familiar with, it's actually smoother than anything we'd ever made over here.
I think that'll make the cut.
It might make the cut. Didn't close it out too well. I had to tie the knot a little better, but maybe next time. Maybe next live.
All right. Should we
listen to Bones? Listen to Bones. Take a deep breath. Appreciate what you got.
Bones been made a long time. They'll be there when you're gone.
No, they don't get to stay. No. Even they go. From dinosaurs to flying cars and t-shirts we've outgrown. These bones been made a long time, and they'll be there when I'm gone. With all the stars, the moon and Mars, can't say where I'm from. These bones been made a long time, and they'll be there when I'm gone. All these bones.
Not bad. We can do it.
Oh.